on this show.
This is Rutledge and Hamilton with Jim Rutledge and Matt Hamilton, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN.
Their fans are really so. I wanted to go back up there and I wanted to play them and I wanted to beat them and I wanted him to be there so you can see it. But the fact that he's gone now, it's cool. I guess it's better for him than to be here.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio with Matt Hamilton, here's Jim Rutledge.
The NFC North is not afraid anymore. You can cue up Macaulay Culkin yelling that out in Home Alone. I'm not afraid anymore. Because I think that's how the NFC North feels about the Green Bay Packers, which is a compliment. Before every Packer fan gets in their feelings, is a compliment to the reign of terror in the conference. The Green Bay Packers have rained down on most teams in the NFC North. I would say, just offhandedly, just guessing, Packers by a landslide have the most NFC North titles or NFC Central titles since Favre and Rodgers, followed by the Vikings, then the Bears. And I would imagine that the lead over those other two teams are, you can combine everyone else in the North over that time, and they still won't have as many titles as the Green Bay Packers have had in the NFC North/Central since Brett Favre arrived. And I think, and look, Jordan Love might restart the reign of terror. He might be the next superhero to play quarterback for the Green Bay Packers. But most realistically, he would be the next Ryan Tannehill, not the next Aaron Rodgers. And Ryan Tannehill is not inflicting terror into the hearts of teams across the AFC South. I think that's where they play. So, Matt Hamilton, Jim Rutledge. This is Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light. The mountains are blue. You know what to do.
And that's Crush, a Coors Light.
And we are live from the Everlight Solar Studio. I want to get into this right away. 844-770-3776 is how you get into the show. Matt, my working theory, as we heard it in the open there, Justin Jones from the Chicago Bears took some shots at the Green Bay Packers. Comments are irrelevant in the idea of what he said. It doesn't really matter. He's not that. I mean, he's a starter, but he might not even start the season as a starter. The Bears drafted 2 second-round picks. Both those guys could be starters, and Justin could be a backup before the season even gets rolling. So that part doesn't matter. But for me, I think there's an air of Superman is dead. Or the Dragon Slayer is gone. There's nobody in the North. Now, this works in the Packers' favor. There's no Dragon Slayer or superhero yet in the North that the Packers would run into. So I'm not saying the Packers are in line for some sort of fall off and they're going to be terrible forever. What I am saying is
there's a vacuum of power right now, and somebody is going to have to fill that void.
And there's no terror. Nobody's afraid of the Green Bay Packers right now. I think.
Well, there's no fear anywhere.
Right.
No one's afraid to go to Soldier. And I'm not saying you're wrong, but after 30 years of Lambeau being this place where...
No, not Lambeau, because people could go on Lambeau and win.
When I say Lambeau, I mean Favre's house, Rodgers' house. When you have to go there and you've got to play the Packers, or just in general, you play the Packers,
I think in general,
most people are chalking that up as an L or a coin flip in previous seasons. Very rarely were the Packers looked at, especially in the North, by their opposing teams as a pushover game or a game that you're going to win.
Yeah,
and
never.
now I think most teams are pretty comfortable that they feel like they have a pretty good shot coming into Green Bay and playing the Packers.
And this is what I'm trying to get at. Nobody's afraid of playing the Green Bay Packers anymore, and that is a credit to Aaron Rodgers. Now, if you want to push back on me, think about how you felt as a Packer fan every single time you rolled out there with Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback. And that air of confidence that you had. I know that air of confidence because I grew up as a Chicago Bulls fan during the Michael Jordan era. I know that confidence of, and trust me, Jordan did it better than any other player, at least for the Packers, has ever done it as far as owning the league. So I know it tenfold what it's like, that feeling of, oh, man, we got this. And other teams being afraid of it. And there's a factor of it that when Chicago or Detroit or Minnesota, Matt, to your point, sees the Packers on the schedule and there's Aaron Rodgers, they might talk a little. They might try to hype themselves up. But they know, and how they're coaching their football team and how they're approaching that game, Aaron could turn that game on a dime You can't give Aaron an inch. You can't let Aaron do anything to gain confidence. You can't let the Packers get up. You can't let them hang around too much. You can't let Aaron score a fourth quarter touchdown if you're only up 14. Like, Aaron was a superhero that could slay the hopes of a team winning really at almost any point in the game. Like, that's the part, statistics and awards aside, that part has been in Green Bay really since Brett Favre. And we'll see what Jordan Love is. But right now, nobody's like, oh, God, Green Bay's coming to town. And I'm talking fan base purposes. Like, in Chicago, fans, I guarantee you, because Aaron did own the Aaron did own the Chicago Bears, that fans get nervous when Aaron starts making plays. Fans get quiet at Soldier Field when Aaron starts making plays because, oh no, it's happening again. If the team gets behind 14 to the Packers, when Aaron Rodgers is your quarterback, you're thinking we got to pack it in. That is not going to be the case this season. Maybe Jordan Love starts the new reign of terror. Maybe he's the next X-Men, the next great superhero quarterback for the Green Bay Packers.
That'd be pretty cool.
But until that's proven, there's no team in the NFC North that has that we can't beat them at their peak prime. Because, like, Chicago going to play Green Bay, even Chicago at their absolute best, could tell themselves we have to play a perfect game and we still might not win, depending on Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
Now, any team, especially Detroit and Minnesota, let's make it about them, because those are the teams I think are truly competing for the division title.
Right.
Those two teams can tell themselves, we go out there and play our football, we'll beat the Packers. Detroit did it in Lambeau with the season on the line against Aaron Rodgers. Let alone they're not going to be afraid this time around.
Yeah, absolutely. And Jimmy, I took a moment. I came up with the numbers for the NFC North. It's Favre took over in what 1991.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
91. So from 91 on, you have Detroit with 2 division championships, and that was in 91 and 93. You've got Minnesota with 9. You've got Chicago with 5. Tampa Bay got one of those because they were still in the NFC North or the NFC Central at the time. And then you have the Packers with 15. So in the last 32 years, the Packers have won 15 division titles. And
so I was a little off because I thought if you added up everyone else, the Packers
would have more. Yeah, I mean, and it's
pretty
close. Like,
if
you started like when the Packers won their first with Favre, there's 4 in there, so they would if you counted the first one. I was just starting at Favre's like absolute start of his career since we had a sure thing quarterback. Still, it's that just goes to show that the Packers were the team to beat in the North. Like, regardless of what happened the season prior, the Packers were still a team that was looked at as the team to beat.
More than that, like this year, you'd say Detroit is a team to beat in the North. The Packers were, with Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre.
I still think you got to beat the Vikings just because they had the best record last year.
But that's not my point. Whatever you want to say.
All right.
But with Rodgers and Favre, no matter what the Packers were rolling out there on the roster, you were thinking to yourself, the Packers, as a Packers fan, have a chance.
Yes.
And no matter what the game was, no matter what the Vikings were doing, no matter what the Bears were doing. I know when the Bears won the division 4 years ago and Green Bay went to Soldier Field and Eddie Jackson picked off Aaron Rodgers to win that game late in the game, I didn't breathe a sigh of relief until Eddie Jackson made that interception of Aaron Rodgers to seal the division for the Chicago Bears because the Packers were making a playoff run at that point.
Right.
Like, if they had won the last few games, in theory they could have gone to the playoffs. Now, instead, that started at the end of Mike McCarthy. Things went sideways, but that was late in the season.
Right.
And I was thinking, I don't want Green Bay to get into the playoffs. I want the Bears to end the Packers season, which ended. Eddie Jackson picked off Aaron Rodgers. Packers lose. That was the end of their season. And so until that moment, until Freddie was dead, I was not breathing a sigh of relief. And what happened? Freddie came back the next year. Now Freddie has left the building. So there's no monster coming back from the dead anymore as Aaron Rodgers or Brett Favre. Maybe it'll be Jordan Love, but right now, and this is what I want to ask, do people agree with me? 844-770-3776. The mystique of Aaron Rodgers also, when he left the building, that took the I would say the mystique of the Green Bay Packers out with him. Like, nobody's afraid in the NFC North. Nobody's afraid of the Green Bay Packers anymore.
should we change mystique to like intimidation factor? Because mystique, I feel like, is very broad.
Does mental edge work better, maybe?
There you go.
Mental edge.
Yes, the mental edge that the Packers had over everyone else in the NFC North is gone.
Yeah.
House of D chimes in. The rest of the North is hoping domination is over. The fear is not gone, Jimmy. In a weird way, probably more because of the run could continue. Maybe from fans, House of D, but not from players.
I think it would. I think players and fans alike would be very. I think that it would. Losing to the Packers, say the Packers sweep the North, just hypothetically. I think that would affect the players' mentality as well as the fans of those other teams' mentalities.
But I'm talking going into this right now.
Yeah, like right now, looking at this season, they are either looking at the Packers as like, that's a coin flip or that's a win. I don't think there's one team in the NFC North, including the Bears, that are looking at the Packers game thinking, we can't win that game. Where in 30 years prior, there's always somebody thinking that. This is the first year that nobody in the North is thinking that the Packers are a guaranteed win. Now, if the Packers...
guaranteed loss, you mean? For your team, nobody right now is thinking the Packers are a guaranteed loss for their team.
Yeah, a guaranteed loss for their team. So what I'm getting at is if the Packers do turn out to be the giant slayers in the North and they are the team, like Jordan Love is the guy, that's going to rub teams and fans the wrong way even more because they thought this saga was over. And if it's not, if Jordan Love turns out to be the guy and this saga is just starting back up again, just chapter 3, it is going to get under the fans, the skin of fans around the North.
Absolutely. But
so I see where D's saying like they might be more nervous because they know if it doesn't work out, it's going to be worse for them.
My point is the players aren't. The players are going to. Why the players are?
The reason I say that is because we had that Jones guy,
I know,
right, who just goes out and says, "Oh, I wish Aaron Rodgers was still there." If you come up here and you can't even beat Jordan Love,
but he's not
like you're eating crow at that point.
But he's not afraid of it. Players aren't afraid of it. That's why he's talking. If he was afraid of it, he wouldn't talk.
Okay, he's
players. I'm not talking fans. Players.
If they win, they're going to backtrack his comments.
Right, but players aren't going to be afraid of that. Because players can control what happens. Players who talk trash have control over what's happening. So players are not. Clearly, by the fact that he said it, he's not afraid of it. Now, fans, yes. Fans, we have no control. So fans can sit here and say, oh, God, Jordan Love is this. But to your point, if the Packers go win the division, let's say they win 11 games, but if Jordan Love throws for 3,000 yards and 24 touchdowns and 14 picks and completes 60% of his passes and it's a dominant defense, a dominant run game, that's not terror. That's the Vikings. You're not afraid of the Vikings, right? Like if Jordan Love turns into Kirk...
This year I am.
But that's because you don't have Aaron Rodgers.
Exactly.
So my point being is if Jordan Love turns into Kirk Cousins, that's not a reign of terror. Nobody's afraid of Kirk Cousins. You were afraid of Brett Favre, and realistically... It was Aaron Rodgers that dominated the North even more than Brett Favre did. Because I bet you if you went under Aaron Rodgers' window time of winning the North compared to everyone else, I bet you it is more. The Packers won it more than the rest of the division combined.
I'll look into that.
So you can look into that. But Aaron Rodgers, it's not about Jordan Love being good. He could be Ryan Tannehill, Jimmy Garoppolo, Derek Carr. He could be a lot of really good quarterbacks, even Dak Prescott. But none of those quarterbacks scare you. There's only a few that do it. Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow. I'm sure I'm missing some here, but there's not a long list. I don't think Jalen Hurts even terrifies the East right now. He has to do it longer.
When did Rodgers take over, 09?
08.
08, 09
My
season?
first year up here, coming back from Florida.
Got it.
So you can look that up, but I would say unless Jordan Love becomes one of the top 5 quarterbacks, top 3 quarterbacks in the league, the terror's not there. Because Kirk Cousins is a hell of a quarterback. Dak Prescott, hell of a quarterback. Nobody's afraid of them. They don't own their conference. We can't even say Jalen Hurts is there yet.
Right.
You can go Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes. I'm probably missing someone.
But you can't even say Josh Allen if Patrick Mahomes owns the division.
Well, that's not the same division.
Oh.
Conference.
Oh, that's right. Okay, conference.
Because the Packers didn't own the conference.
No, they didn't.
I mean, you can make an argument they're one of the biggest underachievers ever with the quarterbacks that they had. This is Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light. Miss any of the show? Find full show podcasts free on Wisconsin On Demand and wherever you get your podcasts.
Just look at him. State-of-the-art Honda hybrids, making ecological art out of any conditions they encounter. Rugged, dependable, stylish performance with fuel efficiency and low emissions that'll make a tree hugger blush. What's this phenomenon you're witnessing? It's the future, today. Electrified driving built for Wisconsin. Get your Honda hybrid now at your Wisconsin Heartland Honda dealer. Honda gets Wisconsin.
John Hayes for Goodman's Jewelers. Help us celebrate 90 years in business by visiting us at 220 State Street. We've been a part of a lot of great moments, and we want to add to those special occasions. Our staff is here to help you make that perfect selection for your memorable moment. Come see firsthand why Goodman's Jewelers has withstood the test of time and why we're truly a destination worth reaching. Goodman's Jewelers, the Diamond Store of Madison, and a whole lot more. Goodman'sJewelers.com.
The best is at Goodman's.
2023 is a very special year for Goodman's Jewelers. We're celebrating 90 years of serving the greater Madison area. John Hayes for Goodman's Jewelers. Needless to say, that's a long time and a lot of great memories working with you, our customers. During these 9 decades, we've never deviated from our pledge to you, which is earning your trust, delivering top-notch service, and a selection that's second to none. Discover firsthand why Goodman's Jewelers is truly a destination worth reaching. 220 State Street, Goodman'sJewelers.com.
The best is at Goodman's.
That to-do list you have needs one more thing. Chill. It's an easy thing to do. Just crack open an ice-cold Coors Light and chill. Take the afternoon off and binge watch anything. Go to happy hour and stay for a couple hours. Who's counting anyways? Or hang out with just your dog, because you've had enough human interaction this week. Whatever you do it with a Coors Light. Mountain cold refreshment made to chill. 2020 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
Join us at the Madison Parade of Homes, exclusively sponsored by Nuns, June 16th to 25th. Visit and get inspired. Go to MadisonParadeOfHomes.com and purchase your tickets today.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
LabCorp Clinical Trials is changing to a new name, Fortrea. While the name may be different, Fortrea combines decades of great experience and professionalism with new opportunities for clinical trial participation. It's more than a mission and more than a new name. Fortrea is dedicated to moving healthcare forward. To learn more about the future of healthcare and upcoming clinical trials, visit us at FortreaClinicalTrials.com. That's FORTREA clinicaltrials.com.
To those who've ever dreamt of their perfect event, those dreams are worthy and they are possible. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With hard work, passion, and great music, we will make your event dreams a reality. Every event is a labor of love, with one-on-one planning, customization, and flawless execution. Bringing your event to life is what we do. For a fun, memorable event, visit celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
You're listening to Rutledge and Hamilton on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Ho Chunk Gaming Madison.
It's always our offense, and it's not about one person in this building. It's about all of us, all our players, all our coaches, and how we want to attack.
That was Matt LaFleur talking about he's always run his offense, whether it was Aaron Rodgers or Jordan Love now. And I don't disagree with that.
I mean, even if he wasn't, you can't go out there and be like, yeah, I let the last quarterback push me around and call the whatever plays he wanted to. Like, you can't even run it back like that, even if it was the case. Not that I'm saying I don't believe Matt LaFleur. He's just never going to go out and say, I wasn't running my offense last year because Rodgers didn't want to run it. So, like, he's taking some ownership of the fact that this is his team. It's always been his team. Rodgers is running a more advanced version of his offense than Jordan Love is going to be, which is probably the case.
You're talking semantics. This is Rutledge and Hamilton presented by Coors Light, live from the Everlight Solar Studio. He's Matt Hamilton. I'm Jim Rutledge. Matt, I mean, obviously Aaron can only call plays that exist within the offense. So even if Aaron was calling plays, he's still running Matt LaFleur's offense because there's only the plays that Matt LaFleur has drawn up.
But, like, you know, when you've got total freedom to call whatever audible you want. I mean, we were told, and at least I maybe I'm wrong on this, but I remember at some point in this Aaron Rodgers-LaFleur thing, he would send Rodgers out with 2 plays.
Right. So
and Rodgers had to pick based on the defense.
Well, and I think that's still, in general, how this was run. Now, the difference between this offense and what it is run, let's say, under Jared Goff. So I would imagine the Packers' offense this year is going to look more training wheels. They're going to leave the training wheels on, very similar to what Jared Goff ran with the Rams.
So not a lot of motion.
No, I think motions and all that, like Aaron is the one that didn't like motion. I'm saying that they're going to have the ball get out of, like they're going to scheme receivers open quick and get the ball out of Jordan Love's hands fast and let the receivers try to make some plays.
Yeah.
And I think the beauty of this offense, which is why it's become so in vogue in the NFL, is that you can win a division, you can win some regular season games with Ryan Tannehill, Brock Purdy. Now, you have to have a really strong running game and a really good defense. Otherwise, you turn into the Rams towards the end with Jared Goff, or even do with Detroit. So this offense can be productive. Now, as far as winning games, that's a little bit up in the air depending on the rest of your football team. But this offense can move the ball inside the 20s pretty easily. The difference is with a guy like Aaron Rodgers, he was running like the AP version of this offense. We saw that run with Matt Ryan, with Matthew Stafford, with Aaron Rodgers. When you have an elite quarterback in this offense, and what he's running out in New York won't be that different since it was previously Mike LaFleur and now Nathaniel Hackett. It's just this offense that Aaron Rodgers is running when he's running it for the Packers is more the AP version of it. He knows where all the levers are. He can pull all the levers. He can do whatever he wants within this offense. Jordan Love is probably going to be running like a 200 version of this offense, which is what I think Tannehill probably runs, what I think Jared Goff ran. I think it's what a lot of these guys run. But certain quarterbacks are allowed to do things in this offense that others are not allowed to. Now, we do have a question here from the 970. Question for the host who seems to be a Bears fan. That's me, Jim Rutledge. And this isn't about the Bears because the Bears are not winning the division this year. I'm not betting. If they win the division this year, it is a surprise. The betting favorites, if you're lining it up, you're going to go with Minnesota. That's fine, Matt. If you want to go Minnesota, that's fine. I would go with Detroit. So those two are going to have the highest percentage to win.
Yeah.
Those are the 2 favorites to win the division. And then Green Bay and Chicago are somewhat considered also rans. Doesn't mean they can't do it, but it's unlikely. Right. And this isn't about Chicago because Chicago, I think, is years away from being a team that can consistently win the division. At least 1, maybe 2 years away. Detroit is the team that's there right now. But he asked the question, did I think that Rodgers was going to be as good as he did? No, but that's not it's not about me, the fan. It's about the teams right now. And I'm not saying it won't change. I'm not saying that Jordan Love won't be good. I'm saying currently, just like Aaron Rodgers when he went 6-10 his first year, after the team went to the NFC Championship the year before, there was no mystique about Aaron Rodgers year 1.
Are we not talking about LaFleur anymore?
No, we're moving back to our original topic because I don't care about LaFleur. I care about we can talk about this offense, but this offense is fine and dandy. You took away Superman out of this offense, and Superman had a lore that I think does not exist. I'm not saying Jordan Love can't get it back. I'm saying right now for this season, there's no, oh crap, we're facing Aaron Rodgers with the Green Bay Packers. Now, could it be back by year 2 with Jordan Love? Absolutely. Very well could be. But this year, players specifically, because they have control, are not going to think, man, I got to play a perfect game. Or coaches when they're calling plays and we're up 7 with we're up 7 at the end of the half. Instead of just kicking the field goal and going up 10, and take the save points, they might say, you know what? I'm not afraid of Jordan Love. Let's go for the touchdown. Let's go up 14. And even in your play calling of, hey, we can be a little more aggressive in our blitzes. We can be a little more aggressive in these things. So coaches can be a little more aggressive. Players can take a few more chances because they're not afraid of getting burned on the back end by Aaron Rodgers. Now, maybe Jordan Love will make him pay for that. But this season, just like year 1 with Aaron Rodgers, when he won 6 games, there was not a fear factor. That fear factor came over time with Aaron Rodgers. At the end, even last season, I think teams knew that you had to go out there and play your best damn football if you're going to beat the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah.
And it's a different feeling when you know we go out there and play. We're in this to the end. if we're playing the Packers. Or if we put them away, they're put away. When you put Aaron Rodgers away, go ask the Bears about it. You didn't put Aaron Rodgers away. Remember, they were kicking the snot out of the Packers the year they won the division at halftime. Aaron Rodgers rises from the dead like Jason or like Freddie and comes back and slays the Bears at Lambeau Field.
Yeah.
That added to his mystique. He had that whole thing. He didn't have that year one. So, no, he did not carry mystique in year one. He earned his mystique. He earned his Superman status. Maybe Jordan Love gets there. But this season, it doesn't exist for the Packers.
Yeah, there's a vacuum right now at who is the Giant Slayer in the North. And there isn't one.
There is not every team. It's like the idea of having a one in the NFL.
Well, it's unique because there's very rarely do I feel like you can look at a division anywhere in football and say there is no team here that is like the clear-cut Giant Slayer like favorite. Like, even though the Vikings and the Lions are probably the two favorites of the four teams in the division, it's still not an easy pick between those two. And we're in a super unique spot in Green Bay. This is uncharted territory for me, being 34 years old and only really being able to remember all-star quarterback play. So it's going to be something that's very different.
But it's forget even the play. You've only known, again, maybe year one or two of Aaron Rodgers, you've only known quarterbacks who did put the fear of God into other teams.
Yeah. Yeah.
And those are
to your point, there's only been like 3 seasons in my Packers fandom where I was like, man, 3 might even be high. 1 or 2 where I'm like, like, are we the team to beat this year? Or can we make the playoffs? Every year going in with Rodgers and Favre, you think we got it. It was probably that first year with Aaron Rodgers, and then maybe that year that they got rid of Mike McCarthy and you're not really sure about the new coach. You're like maybe a little bit in the maybe. So I think maybe 2 times.
But you still had Aaron Rodgers, so you still probably felt okay
about it. So you still felt okay. Yeah,
yes.
You're like still confident that you have the talent to win.
I just think that
again, that whole thing just leads me into this idea that, like, I know LaFleur said he was calling his plays, but even though he was running Matt LaFleur off AP offense with Aaron Rodgers because you got like this gifted, talented quarterback running your offense, this offense might be the same as far as like everything has been, like that AP offense has grown off of this one. This is going to be a different look, regardless of what anyone says. And what LaFleur's saying, the plays that are going to go out this year are going to look very different than they did with Aaron Rodgers. Again, it might be all within the same scheme and idea and philosophy that Matt LaFleur is trying to preach, but this is a different team, a different offense. He's got a new quarterback who's going to be helming this whole thing. There's going to be differences, and I honestly, Matt LaFleur is on a hot seat in the sense that he's got a guy who's worked in his system for 4 years, and he's got basically full control. Everyone, I think he always, regardless of what he said, he always had that card in his back pocket that Aaron Rodgers has control of the play once he goes out on the field. Like, I give him some options, but at the end of the day, Aaron Rodgers can do whatever he wants out there because he's Aaron Rodgers. This year, it's going to be Matt LaFleur. If there's a bad scheme out there, we cannot expect Jordan Love to see it and audible out of it. It's going to be on Matt LaFleur to send out the right plays, and hopefully his avatar in Jordan Love is going to be able to execute. But this is a big Matt LaFleur year. I put more pressure on Matt LaFleur than Jordan Love.
Did the Packers lose their mental edge over the NFC North when they traded Aaron Rodgers? Right now, 72% of Packers fans say no. Which then I would say 72% of Packer fans didn't appreciate Aaron Rodgers.
I'm curious what edge that they think we have then.
That's why I'm saying that I think they don't.
And again, that's fine if you don't think Aaron Rodgers was the reason that we had a mental edge going into the season. But I'd like to know what it is now.
There isn't one. I mean, I'm sorry. The Packers.
I'll hear it. I'll hear it.
I'll give you this because I don't need the people getting their all feelings about the Bears part of it. The Packers, I think, are clearly viewed as third place at best in the NFC North going into this year. When was the last time that happened? Just in general, from an outside perspective.
From outside perspective, honestly, probably like 1992.
And I think I'm not being unfair by saying the Packers right now are viewed as the third best team in the NFC North.
I would say I could go back as far into the 90s. I don't even think you could say that in the 2000s that they were like third best.
Right.
Maybe Aaron Rodgers' first year.
Detroit and Minnesota, right now, if you were trying to place a safe bet, you'd pick them to finish in front of the Green Bay Packers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so.
And I am blown away because I think it really just shows the lack of full grasp of what Aaron Rodgers brought to the Green Bay Packers. Matt, you just touched on it there with LaFleur. He brought it to the Green Bay Packers team. Matt LaFleur knew that whatever game plan I'm putting out there, whatever system I'm putting out there, I have one of the best drivers of all time to execute that system. And I'll put it like this, Matt. Is Kirk Cousins a Hall of Famer?
No.
Is Ryan Tannehill?
No.
Is Jimmy Garoppolo?
No.
Jared Goff?
No.
And these are a little tougher. Matt Ryan?
Probably not.
Matthew Stafford?
Hold on. Matt Ryan for not good reasons. He might make the NFL Hall of Fame for that epic loss.
Matthew Stafford?
Probably not.
So, all those other quarterbacks beside Aaron Rodgers were not Hall of Famers running this offense.
Right.
And we just listed a bunch of really good quarterbacks. And we'd be thrilled, most likely, most Packer fans would be thrilled if Jordan Love turns into any of them.
Mm-hmm.
The Packers had back-to-back Hall of Fame quarterbacks. Jordan Love could be Jimmy Garoppolo. That still takes away the mystique that the Packers had when they had Aaron Rodgers. Because nobody's afraid of Jimmy Garoppolo. Everyone is afraid in the North. Players, let alone fans, players knew, just like when you play Jordan, just like when you play some of the greats, Gretzky or whatever, you knew, man, this is going to be an uphill battle, even if our team is great, to beat this Packers team.
Totally.
Nobody feels like that with Kirk Cousins, Ryan Tannehill, Dak Prescott, Matt Ryan, Matthew Stafford, any of those teams. And that's where I'm not even talking about if the Packers will be good or not. They might win the division again. But my point is, take a second to appreciate what Aaron Rodgers was. Because, geez, all we did every year I've done a show in Wisconsin is talk about how amazing Aaron Rodgers is. And then you remove him, and it's like, yeah, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, I mean, it baffles me a little bit too. But
see, the 907 continues to put this back in this because he 970 continues to focus on the Bears specifically. But I'm not talking about the Bears. I'm talking about the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings, who were better than the Packers last year. Detroit has added more players than they had last year. They got better. Minnesota got worse, but they had a higher ceiling to come down from. So get out of your feelings. I'm not talking about the Bears. Fine. The Bears still suck. That's fine. They're fourth. But because the Bears are still in... Just because the Bears are in fourth place doesn't make the Packers a team to be feared.
Yeah. And I don't know what they're... what our particular caller or listener is tweeting it about because...
Well, he's just pointing out how they beat the Bears and the Bears are bad and all that. And that's fine. They are. The Bears stink. They have not proven that they don't stink for a very long time. Since Lovie Smith, the Bears have basically been a stinky football team. Under Lovie, they were an above-average football team.
Yeah.
60% win percentage. Since then, they have stunk. But this isn't about them. If you're making it about them, you're purposely not seeing the trees through the forest because this is about Detroit and Minnesota, the two teams primed to win the division this year, the two teams prime. Realistically, if I'm crowning the new king of the North going forward, I'm looking right at Detroit.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you can't. The Packers don't have enough. There's not enough proven players on the Packers for me to confidently say the Packers are going to win the North this year. So I don't think that's saying that, there's still a mystique to playing at Lambeau. Maybe
that's different. Yes, absolutely.
We're saying that Rodgers factor, that idea that going into every single game you've got a chance to win, that teams look at the schedule and they're like, oh, we have to play Rodgers. That is going to be a hard game. That mental aspect of the game that Rodgers brought for other teams and other coordinators that they had to account for Aaron Rodgers, that is gone.
Yep.
And that's what we're alluding to. There's still plenty of mystique and history and lore behind Lambeau, and people are still excited to come to Lambeau. And I'm sure some people are even a little bit nervous about playing at Lambeau because we do have some of the best fans in the game and the loudest and a fun atmosphere to play football. Like, Lambeau cannot be an easy place to play, especially in the winter. But that mystique of like an auto, this is going to be one of the hardest games we're going to have all season, is gone. That's not something Lambeau Field itself can bring to the table. And that's all we're trying to allude to, right?
JJ point. Yes. And again, this isn't about Lambeau Field. This is about the pack. This is about Aaron Rodgers. This is about Superman.
This is about the X factor that Aaron Rodgers brought to the field every single time.
This is about losing a quarterback who arguably could be on the Mount Rushmore of greatest quarterbacks of all time. Like, I wouldn't put him there.
He's easily a top 10 guy. I don't think anybody could argue a top 10. He might not make that top 4, but he's without question a top 10 player.
4 and 7, I would say.
Most likely, yeah.
JJ and Ponette chimes in. It's just Packer fans hardening their heart because the hot girl moved on. There's no other rationale explaining why we haven't lost that mental edge. And King House of D chimes in. For clarity, you're saying the Bears were afraid of the Packers for the past 30 years, right, Jimmy? I love it. Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unquestioned. Why wouldn't they be?
And again, I don't think Jimmy would ever. He's never the kind of guy who is going to say something and like double back on it. He'll own what he says. He might be a Bear fan and he might want to believe they win, but that doesn't mean the Sundays that the Bears lined up against the Packers that you didn't think that the Bears, if they didn't play anything less than perfect, were going to lose the football game.
It's not like they're sitting there quaking in their boots. It's just more of like when you go into a game, Matt, you know that when you're playing, let's say,
if I'm playing Scotland, we can't make any mistakes. That team is way too good. If we make a mistake, they're going to jump all over us.
Right.
Exact same mentality as when if Team Schuster were the Bears and Scotland were the Packers. If the Bears make any mistakes, they are losing the game to Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. That's gone. Now you might think you might be able to get away with a mistake because they don't have that guy who is going to be super clutch when he needs to be and is going to take the win away from you.
Yep.
That's all we're getting at.
Go ask. Look, Denver had Jokic. Miami didn't. When you have a god like that, whether it's Rodgers or Jokic the way he's playing, you know you got to go in and be perfect or you're not going to win. You know who is fantastic and who is perfect? Our good friends at Revive Restoration.
That's right, because nobody plans for accidents to happen, but when they do, you can count on Revive Restoration and the Revive Pros to be professional, efficient, detail-oriented as they make things perfect again. Things like water damage, smoke damage, fire, mold, storm damage, asbestos, and a whole lot more. Revive Restoration has your home or business covered 24/7, 365 days a year. I was talking with our friend Josh Duggan, the owner of Revive Pros and Revive Restoration, and he was telling me about businesses that have accidents. Like 60% of them don't make it the next year. Don't let that happen to you. If you've got any of these issues with your home or business, you can call Revive Pros or Revive Restoration, and they will get you back on track and get your home or business to 100% fast and efficient, just the way you'd like it. Call Revive Restoration.
This is Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light. The mountains are blue, and we can prove it. Follow the show on Twitter at Jim and Matt.
Matt Hamilton here to tell you about my friends at Revive Restoration. Nobody plans for accidents to happen, but when they do, you can count on Revive to be professional, efficient, and detail-oriented as they make things right again. Revive Restoration.
Don't miss your chance to see the legends of golf when they come to Central Wisconsin this summer. Watch your favorite players like Steve Stricker, Ernie Els, Jerry Kelly, Padraig Harrington, and more up close as they battle for the 43rd U.S. Senior Open Championship at Century World in Stevens Point. June 27th through July 2nd. Buy your daily, weekly, or premium tickets now at USSeniorOpen.com. That's USSeniorOpen.com.
The original Hard Iced Tea started in 2001 in Cincinnati, Ohio. For Twisted Tea, the dream was simple. Brew a refreshing tea with flavors everyone loves and add a twist. With endless styles such as half and half, blueberry, peach, mango, and raspberry, you can always keep it twisted. Find Twisted Tea near you at twistedtea.com/locations. America parties with tea. Must be 21 or older to enjoy.
Listen to Rutledge and Hamilton every Thursday at 2:45 for your chance to win a case of Twisted Tea's limited edition party pack. The summer party pack features the original half and half and peach flavors along with a new limited edition flavor, Twisted Tea Rocket Pop. The new style combines the flavors of the classic Rocket Pop popsicle, lemon lime cherry, and blue raspberry, punched up with a taste of authentic hard iced tea. Listen every Thursday at 2:45 for your chance to win some free beer, or in this case, some free Twisted iced tea. That's 2:45 every Thursday.
Life's better with a home policy from American Family Insurance, because you'll feel protected no matter how the wind blows. All so you can keep enjoying the home of your dreams. And our expert agents can help you save up to 23% when you bundle home with auto. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. American Family Insurance. Get a quote? Find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Ben Brust here to tell you about why your next work van should be from Mercedes-Benz Sprinter at Zimbrick European. First off, we have versatility. The Sprinter vans offer 16 body types and thousands of ways to customize that space. Number 2, we have reliability. Sprinter's most powerful diesel engines last longer and require less maintenance, spend more time on the road and less time in those bays. Number 3, we have safety. Sprinter's safety technologies include curtain airbags all around, load adaptive electronic stability program, and crosswind and attention assist. Number 4, Van Care Mobile. Our maintenance team can come to you with routine service. Who wants to go in? Let them come to you. They work with multiple trucks on one visit. Use the Mercedes Me Connect. And last but not least, get your Zimbrick Sprinter at Zimbrick European at Rimrock Road and the Beltline, or go online at ZimbrickEuropean.com, because they never charge over the MSRP.
Medicine Money Guy Christian Finfrock here. Struggling to understand retirement planning, life insurance policies, or managing your wealth? Listen to my show every Saturday at 7 a.m. on 100.5 ESPN, or call me right now at 208-1800 for a complimentary consultation.
Hi, I'm Connie Britton. I support Feeding America because they help provide over 6 billion meals to people in need each year. Learn more at feedingamerica.org. Feeding America. 200 food banks strong.
You're listening to Rutledge and Hamilton on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by X Golf in Madison and Middleton.
Rutledge and Hamilton, live from the Everlight Solar Studio, presented by Coors Light. He's Matt Hamilton. I'm Jim Rutledge. You can get into the show, 844-770-3776. And we're asking the question, have the Packers lost their invincibility, their mental edge over the NFC North? Right now, 66% of you say, no, the Packers have not lost their mental edge over the NFC North. This isn't about...
we don't have one of those 66% calling to tell us why they think we still have the edge. That's all. I don't care if you believe it. You can believe that. But tell me why. Like, give me your thought. Let me into your head.
844-770-3776. I'll just give you the reverse of it. Matt, you've done the show with me for over a year now. I've been on the air for a long time. There's definitely seasons where I get excited about the Bears, but for the most part, you've not really heard me talk excitedly, nor should I, about what the Chicago Bears could do in the North.
Yeah, the most excitement you've had is about players in general, not necessarily the team and their record.
Right, and I've said it before, like I've hardened my heart about the Bears beating the Packers. I do not think in past years that could happen. Do I think, look, you'll have a lot of fun this year listening if I get my heart broken. This year, it's a different feeling. Mm-hmm. I feel like, yes, the Bears can beat the Packers. Now, do I think the Bears are going to win the division? Absolutely not. I think the Bears and the Packers are going to be two teams fighting it out at the bottom of the division. But I do think the Bears can win this division. I do like their trajectory. I've been burned a million times on it. But you know why I've been burned a million times on it? Because they never figured out the quarterback.
Yeah.
You know how many times? And that's the story of most NFL teams. And look, I'm not rooting for that for the Green Bay Packers. I'm not. I'm just saying that I know what it's like not to have that mystique. And for every time you love to make fun of Detroit and Chicago specifically, because Minnesota's figured it out enough. I mean, Kirk Cousins is good enough to get you to the playoffs.
Yeah.
And look, honestly, that's where Aaron Rodgers has been for the last decade. Good enough to get you to the playoffs, maybe a winning game. Yeah. So the difference is like one playoff win between each year between Cousins and Rodgers. But when you don't have that guy, your consistency's out the window, and it's hard to win a division or consistently compete in a division. So I know what it's like. But yes, when the Packers had Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers, did I ever go into those games feeling like the Bears were definitely going to win those games? No. How could you? Now, do I feel like they could have had a chance for maybe a 50-50 shot?
Or maybe they felt like they let it go.
Right, or even a 60-40, and then one of those guys. That's what Rodgers and Favre and Mahomes and those other ones do. That even when the Bears had a better football team, those guys covered it up. And maybe Jordan Love gets there. But my point is, right now, no team in the NFC North or fan base, now there's residual, PTSD from it, but no fan base is saying, can't beat Jordan Love.
Right.
And that's the one guy, more than any other position in football, is the quarterback position. They might be saying that a year or 2 years from now. I'm just saying right now, they're not saying that. We're going to play Minute to Win It in a minute. I want to tell everyone about my friends at Canopy Wealth Management. At Canopy Wealth Management, they take the time to truly get to know and understand the dynamics of your values, goals, and plans for your family. No family fits a generic mold, and neither should your financial plan. At Canopy, their clients' financial goals are something they're constantly striving to help reach maximal potential, which is why they work solely in your best interests. You define your goals, and they work towards making them happen with their comprehensive financial planning. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started with them today. That's canopy-wealth.com. And right now, we'll go in honor of 4 and 12.
No. Okay. I was gonna say, because we had alluded to it, we have 15 division wins in the Rodgers and Favre era. We have 7.
That's too
we have 7 for Brett and 8 for Rodgers.
Ryan, your choice.
I like 7 and 8.
7 and 8.
7 and 8 is easy on me.
All right. Ryan doesn't like to count, folks. So now, caller number 7 and caller number 8, 844-770-3776. Caller number 7 and caller number 8, 844-770-3776. You're both entered to win that $50 gift card from our friends at North and South Seafood and Smokehouse. And if you pick the right person to win, you'll get that $50 gift card for Minute to Win It. Again, caller number 7 and caller number 8, 844-770-3776. Caller number 7 and caller number 8. You're both qualified to win that $50 gift card from North South Seafood and Smokehouse, and if you pick the right person to win Minute to Win It, you'll win that $50 gift card. 844-770-3776. Caller number 7 and caller number 8. This is Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light, a finalist for Best of Madison Radio Team. Vote at channel3000.com. People really like this show. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Alex Strofe.
This Badger Minute brought to you by the Clean Lakes Alliance's 11th annual Loop the Lake Bike Ride. Join the fun this June 17th and register today at cleanlakesalliance.org. A reigning freshman phenom for the Wisconsin basketball team will represent his country later this week in California. Connor Sejan, who averaged over 11 points per game in his freshman campaign for the Badgers, will represent the Armenian national team during the Armenian Basketball Classic against France on June 16th at Cal State Northridge in California. Sejan will make his debut for Armenia against the 5th-ranked globally France team in back-to-back nights at the Armenian Basketball Classic in California.
Pella's window and door design options are virtually limitless. Customize your order by August 31st and you could bundle and save big at PellaWI.com.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
Make a fast break to FanDuel during the NBA playoffs. Visit FanDuel.com/play.
21 plus in select states. First online real money wager only. $10 deposit required. Refund issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under an agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit FanDuel.com/RG in Colorado, Iowa, Michigan, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Illinois, Tennessee, and Virginia. 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342 in Arizona. 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. 1-800-9-WITH-IT in Indiana. 1-800-522-4700 or visit KESGamblingHelp.com in Kansas. 1-877-770-STOP in Louisiana. GamblingHelplineMA.org or call 1-800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts. Visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369 in New York. 1-800-522-4700 in Wyoming or visit 1-800-GAMBLER.net in West Virginia.
Jim Rutledge here to tell you about North and South Seafood and Smokehouse. North and South serves authentic wood-fired barbecue as well as savory seafood for both lunch and dinner. Whether it's North and South in DeForest, Verona, or the west side of Madison, you'll enjoy the best smart casual dining experience in the area. They also have takeout and catering options, so find your way over to North and South Seafood and Smokehouse, the official barbecue place of Rutledge and Hamilton. They're online at eatnorthandsouth.com.
Hey Madison, it's Dan Andrews from Simon Chevrolet in Mount Horeb. By now you know that you're only minutes away from a better buying experience at Simon Chevrolet in Mount Horeb. But what is a better buying experience? It's a car buying experience that is custom to what you want and need. We can be your trusted expert or we can be hands-off until you're ready to purchase. If you're in the market for a new or new to you Chevy truck or SUV, make the short drive to Simon Chevrolet in Mount Horeb and see the difference a better buying experience can make.
Join us at the Madison Parade of Homes, exclusively sponsored by Nuns, June 16th to 25th. Visit and get inspired. Go to MadisonParadeOfHomes.com and purchase your tickets today.
You're listening to Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
North and South Seafood and Smokehouse, the official barbecue joint of Rutledge and Hamilton, also has some great crab legs. I know Matt Hamilton, I think, said that went there on Tuesday of last week to get some amazing crab legs from our good friends at North and South Seafood and Smokehouse. It's in the name, Seafood and Smokehouse. So whether you want some great seafood or some great barbecue from their smokehouse, there are 3 locations, DeForest, Madison, and Verona. And you can carry out, you can dine in, or you can have it delivered, and you also can do catering. I've done all, and they're doing a Free Food Friday for us on Friday, so we've all had their catering here. On Sunday last week, I went to the AmFam Championship in Verona. On my way home, I said, I'm going to treat the family.
Ooh.
So here's what I did. So the kids love the pulled pork from our friends at North and South Seafood and Smokehouse. It's not on the kids' menu. So what I did is I ordered the pulled pork dinner, more than enough for the kids, with some Texas toast that comes with it, and I got them 2 sides. So then that was their meal, with leftovers, by the way. And then my wife loves the brisket. She got the brisket sandwich. And then I got a brisket sandwich. The name of it has escaped me, but it had blue cheese, and it had bacon, and it had a smoky barbecue sauce on it, too.
Oh, man.
Amazing. So, and we had the sweet potato French fries. That's just my recommendation, but all that stuff was fantastic over out at North and South Seafood Smokehouse. In Verona is the one I went to. There's 3 locations. We're going to play Minute to Win It, and someone's going to win $50 towards any of those locations.
Are you on Team Rutledge or Team Hamilton?
I don't want to pick sides.
This is the Minute to Win It, presented by North and South Seafood and Smokehouse, with 3 locations in Madison, DeForest, and Verona.
Yeah, I gotta say, I've never been disappointed when I had something from North and South. Whenever we get Free Food Friday, absolutely delicious. But team who has been disappointed recently, and many teams disappointed for a while now, are some of the teams in the NBA who have the longest championship drought. So I bring this up because the Denver Nuggets obviously just won the finals, and they were one of the 10 teams with the longest championship droughts in the NBA. So now, who are the 10 teams who have the longest active droughts in the NBA? So I'll go ahead and start the timer right now, Jim, if you understand. You understand this? All right.
Yep.
All right, we'll go ahead and start right now.
I'm going to go with the Clippers.
Clippers are one of them, correct?
Pistons?
Pistons are not. Remember, they won in 2004.
That's a long time still, so I didn't know how far back it was.
Okay, well, the Clippers had a 53-year drought. I'll tell you that.
Alrighty, so we're going to look at, what about the Suns?
The Suns are on there, correct.
Alrighty. And let's look at the Jazz.
The Jazz are also on the 49-year drought for the Jazz.
So let's look at the Kings.
The Kings are the longest, 72 years. Back when they were the Royals still. The Kansas City Royals. Or not Kansas City. I can't even remember.
All right. Then let's look at the out east there. The Knicks.
The Knicks are up there. Yep. Haven't won since 73. 50 years.
All right. What about the 76ers?
76ers. Oh, sorry for that. They are not on the list, actually. You have two incorrect. 40-year drought for the Sixers.
Alrighty. So continue to look out west. Who am I missing there?
You've got 5 so far. You got 10 seconds.
All right. So out west, Warriors got a title. The Kings. What are some other bad teams? Oklahoma City.
Oklahoma City was not on there. They were number 11 on the active drought. They have 44-year drought. But you got 5 of the top 6.
No, can I get one more in here because you were talking? Give me the history.
Okay.
Minnesota.
Minnesota not in there either.
Okay.
They haven't been around long enough.
Okay.
As a franchise.
Oklahoma City has? Oh, they went from Seattle. Yeah.
They went from Seattle, yeah, because they won as the Sonics back in the day. Yeah, no.
Alrighty, 5. All right.
5 out of the top 6, though. So, I mean, whatever extra credit that gives you for yourself, I don't know. I mean, a little more satisfaction that way. Where is Matt Hamilton? Is he out there?
We'll flag down Matt Hamilton right now. Mr. NBA Matt Hamilton. I like his chances. I like his chances.
Oh, yeah. I know Matt Hamilton is Mr. NBA. That's why I picked this segment, after all.
Alex Strofe distracted him out there.
Oh, perfect.
What's going on? What's Alex doing there? Turn your microphone on.
G had distracted me. Me and him were talking. I've got a... You're going to call me old. My back hurt this morning. So you helped me crack my back.
G's a young man, so I can understand that he...
Get the jingle.
What's that? Why is... That's weird.
You getting a phone call? What's going on?
That was me calling. What? Pocket dial. Classic.
But it said sneakers.
Yeah, so I had called our Facebook group.
Gotcha.
Old man Matt Hamilton can't figure out how to work the phone.
What? Matt, how old is Matt Hamilton?
Yeah, my back hurts and I pocket dial. Hey, here's the thing. I've been a notorious pocket dialer my entire cell phone career. I've been with the best of them. My pocket loves to call people.
All right, well, your advanced age might help you with this week's segment. So we are doing, since the Denver Nuggets won the NBA Finals, they were one of the 10 teams with the longest active championship droughts.
Okay.
Now they are obviously no longer. It's actually the second year in a row that a team came out of the top 10 of longest active droughts, the Bucks being the other team. So... today we'll be doing the 10 longest active NBA championship droughts.
NBA
after the Nuggets won the finals on Tuesday. No. So, Matt, are you ready? Sounds like you're ready. All right, your time starts now.
Timberwolves.
Incorrect. They are not on the list. Haven't been around long enough.
Okay. Interesting. Okay, so now I got to think of some teams that have been around for a minute and also haven't won a championship for a while.
And you have 1 minute.
Yeah. The Phoenix Suns?
They are on the list. Well done.
Thank goodness.
They're number 3 on the list with 55 years.
LA Kings.
The hockey team?
Oh, no. Sacramento Kings.
I'll give you that one. Sacramento
Close.
Kings.
California Kings.
Are the longest at 72 years.
Massive.
30 seconds.
Do we count teams that moved cities?
Yes.
So I can say like the Supersonics / OKC?
You can, but they are not in the top 10. They're 11, actually.
Okay. There's 2. I'm sure Jim got a ton of these.
You got 10 seconds.
Long droughts. The Nets?
They are on there. They are number 8. 47 years.
Get
one more.
Charlotte.
Charlotte also haven't been around long enough.
Okay.
They have a 35-year drought, but they are 13 on this list.
Was the Magic on the list?
The Magic also haven't been around long enough. The expansion teams, none of them
really?
are Memphis, Orlando, the Hornets.
I kind of
on
thought
the list.
the Magic might have won it when they had O'Neal or Dwight Howard for a little bit. So I just avoided them.
So
then
I got 5 out of 10. I got 5 out of the top 6. So I'm curious what the other ones are.
So me getting the Nets at 8 was new.
I did not get the Nets.
No, Jim did not get the Nets, but he did get. You guys both got number 1, the Sacramento Kings, and then number 2 is the Atlanta Hawks, 65 years. Number 3, Phoenix Suns, 55 years. The Clippers, a 53-year drought.
I got that one.
The Knicks, 50-year drought. Utah Jazz,
the
49.
Knicks didn't win one with Patrick Ewing?
No, that's the whole story. They never get past Jordan.
Yep.
Jim's guy.
Oh, I thought I didn't say the Knicks
Basically,
specifically because I was like, Ewing won one.
I got a ton of the ones where Jordan killed their dreams.
Yes.
Yes. Because the Jazz are on that list. The Knicks are on that list.
The Jazz were 6. The Pacers were 7.
Because the Suns took them out, too. And the Pacers. I forgot the Pacers because that was another one. The Pacers couldn't get by Jordan.
Yeah.
Yep.
The Pistons won one, right?
The Pistons won in 04. Jim guessed them, actually.
I forgot because I was going
I
back
wasn't
to
going to throw that out.
80s,
I felt like the Pistons had one.
I was thinking of the bad boy
The
Pistons.
final 2 teams, the final 3 were the Brooklyn Nets at 8, then the Portland Trailblazers and the Washington Wizards. Wizards, 45 years since they won a championship.
All right, so who won?
Oh, yes. Then the caller who won was Eric from Green Bay.
And picked Jim
Picked
first.
Jim, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
That's a Jim category as much as I'm Mr. NBA. I'm Mr. like current NBA, not old NBA.
I didn't want to make it too NBA because obviously I know that bias is towards
thought you were
Jim,
going to
but-
go all franchises. Like when you started this conversation, I was thinking like Buffalo Bills, like Vikings. I was thinking like longest franchises, like longest like droughts
in North
like
American sports.
Milwaukee Brewers, right? Like the longest droughts in general. I was ready for that. I was not ready.
I kind of
for
wanted to come back and you just give it to him and see how he does on that one.
Oh, no. I don't think I would do good, but that's what I was like mentally preparing for. And then when you limited it to the NBA,
since you're more current NBA, give us the last 5 NBA champions.
Well, the Bucks are in there. You've got the Nuggets. You've got the Heat. You've got the Lakers, and you got Toronto.
The Heat did not do it. Last 5?
Yeah, the Heat
did not win. They were in two of
they
the
lost
past
the
5
finals to the Lakers. That's right. So I've got 4. Who's the 5th
You
one?
just said it.
What?
The Lakers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So I had 4. I was Bucks, Nuggets, Lakers. I said the Heat, which is wrong. But then there's the Toronto Raptors. Who is the 5th one? I'm trying to go back and think of it.
California.
Lakers again? What?
Come on.
Who? No, Golden State.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, Golden State.
This is Rutledge and Hamilton presented by Coors Light.
You can drive cutting-edge design. 2023 Audis are on the lot and ready for delivery. Take advantage of 4.99% APR financing for up to 60 months on select new 2023 models. See dealer for details and exclusions. $18.87 a month per $1,000 finance. No down payment required to qualify buyers through Audi Financial Services. Offer ends June 30th. Stop in and test drive today. Check out our website to see the current inventory and our monthly specials. The search for your Audi begins and ends at Zimrick Audi of Madison off the Beltline and Rimrock Road. Drive yours today.
Hi, this is Dave Kane. You're listening to Madison's Home of the Bucks, a good Karma brand radio station, 100.5 ESPN WTLX, Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Yes, good afternoon, Madison. I'm Ryan Wollersheim, and this is your Sports Center update brought to you by Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin's Road America. Celebrate Father's Day at the NTT IndyCar Series June 15th through the 18th. Get your tickets today and check out the full season schedule at roadamerica.com. And the Brewers have a real rough streak in their schedule. They have now lost 6 games in a row after falling to the Minnesota Twins 4-2 out in Minneapolis today. That is a 6-game losing streak for the now 34-34 Milwaukee Brewers. They'll resume action back in a 3-game home series with the Pirates starting again on Friday. And the Green Bay Packers currently in the middle of their mandatory minicamp up in Green Bay. It was the second day of their minicamp, and Jair Alexander was back in town after he skipped the team's voluntary OTA sessions earlier this month. But Alexander says he still is up to date and ready to go for next season despite missing those early OTA sessions.
For me, I know what works for me at this point, I'm on year 6, so 2 Pro Bowls, 2 All-Pro. I think I know what I got going on here.
Read an article from Rob Domowski on Alexander and everything green and gold this offseason
Metro
over at
Kia of
ESPNWisconsin.com.
Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
You got the chill.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
This is Rutledge and Hamilton with Jim Rutledge and Matt Hamilton, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN.
Their fans are really so. I wanted to go back up there and I wanted to play him and I wanted to beat them and I wanted him to be there so you can see it. But the fact that he's gone now, it's cool. I guess it's better for him not to be here.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio with Matt Hamilton, here's Jim Rutledge.
Alex Stroh's such a loser.
That was awesome. That's exactly what I wanted him to do.
Way to go, Stroh.
Little peel behind the curtains here. We are live on Twitter and some other great places. But we told Stroh when he was in here and our show had started that he needed to stay in the blind spot. So he attempted to crawl out of the studio on the ground and out the door without the camera noticing. It failed miserably.
Yeah, a real smooth criminal, Alex Stroh there. Climbing around those security cameras.
Yeah.
Yes, he just had to come in here just to flip off Matt Hamilton. I think he misses you.
Yeah, fair.
What is it? Jokes and making fun of each other and being mean to each other is the male.
That's what friends do.
It's terms of endearment for men. Yeah.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show. Here's the thing. If I'm not picking on you in some way, shape, or form, it's because I don't know you well enough where I feel like I can do that, and that would mean that we're not friends.
There you go.
Right? If we're good enough friends, I will think of something to I don't know, pump your brakes a little bit. So, ego check, kind of.
So is that why you're so nice to me all the time? Is that what it is? I thought you liked me.
No, I've been getting meaner, which means I like you more and more. As I've gotten meaner, it means you're growing in my eyes.
He's forgetful now a little bit, Ryan. New friends, harder. Remember, he's got the bad
True,
back.
true,
He's calling
yeah,
people, FaceTime people, pocket dial, and now, times people slip through his
He's
memory.
working on it. He's getting better. He's getting better, though.
Gosh, right now, you picking on me. I am a young man.
I mean, not compared to Alex G out there who helped you out.
Oh, fair. That's true. I'm not Alex G young.
You're not Jim Rutledge old, but
That's
you're
true.
not in this office. You're not You're not in the young guy crowd.
This is one of my first times at a place of business of any sort, any job I've ever had where I am the old guy.
But
I've never
I would
been
say, let's assume Team Schuster makes the Olympics again. Maybe not in the curling field, but the Olympics is usually a young man's game too.
I mean, I was one of the older people at the last Olympics. If I make another one, fortunately, I'll have 2 people on my team, 3 people on my team older.
You could be pushing the age of being the father of a gymnast.
Yeah, fortunately, I'm the second youngest on my team. And, Jim, I will be turning 36 at the next Olympics if I make it. So, yeah, certainly old enough to be the father of a 17-year-old at 36.
Yes.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
Oh, man. Old man Matt Hamilton.
I still get invited to all the Olympic parties, though, bro.
Yeah, out of charity. Grandpa comes.
Yeah, it's like when he falls asleep, the party really starts.
Right, exactly.
Get out of here.
Weed is tight. Weed is tight.
You're like the Steve Buscemi meme of hello, fellow children,
Hello,
or whatever.
fellow youths.
Fellow youths, that's what it is, yeah.
Look, it's the legend, Matt Hamilton. When they mean legend, they mean old, right, Matt?
Yeah, well, you know what? That's honestly the nicest way of saying. If you want to call me old the rest of this show, just go ahead and be like, legend Matt Hamilton. I will appreciate that a lot more.
Pocket dialing legend Matt Hamilton alongside old man Rutledge here. Rutledge and Hamilton presented by Coors Light. The mountains are blue. You know what to do, old man.
And that's crush a Coors Light.
We're live from the Everlight Solar studio.
Can we ask, how often do you pocket dial people?
Sure.
I think that is a great poll question because I think it happens to me once a month. And I feel like that's a lot.
How?
I literally will just put my phone in my pocket without turning the screen off. And it's just dumb. It's totally on me. I kid you not. The people that are, I pocket dial often. And I'm curious, is once a month, I feel like that's a lot. But I'm curious, how often do you pocket dial? Do you think you do it once a year?
Never.
You never pocket dial anybody.
But I have accidentally, twice in my life, I've changed the setting now, pocket dialed like 911 because they have all those emergency
Yeah,
things
the
on there.
SOS one.
So like I've tried to like quickly like quiet my phone like if I'm and so they show up at your house.
No, totally, yeah.
And then you have to like give a tour. I'm like everything's fine. Like come through, take a look at everything. I literally just accidentally like hit the button or whatever.
See, I've never done that.
So
For
I've
someone who
changed
calls my contacts regularly, I've never accidentally called that like SOS.
Because what it is, like, there's one of the settings on there where, like, you know, sometimes if you want to close something, you could try to click the button to, like, get the, on the old, it's not on the newer phones. I haven't done it in a while, but the older ones, you could, like, click a side button and it would make it go dark.
Yeah, but if you hold it now,
Right,
the side
but
button,
before it was like
it'll-
if you hit it twice. So, like, if I accidentally, like, hit it too fast, it would all of a sudden call. I've
Well,
taken
you
that-
ever
taken that
pocket
setting
dial?
off. So if I'm kidnapped, I'm just screwed.
I can't even remember the last time I ever pocket dialed someone. To be honest, man, I'm surprised you ever do, considering you use like a rotary phone, I assume, most days, right? Like, how do you pocket dial someone with something that's hanging on the wall?
All you do is you just pick up the phone and ask Gertie to connect you to Jim Rutledge, please.
Alexander Graham Hamilton? Is that what it is?
Bell?
Well, that's the jazz. Yeah. It was Hamilton and Bell.
Oh, my goodness. When's Alex back? I'm starting to miss Alex more and more.
He's starting to be mean to me, guys. This is so nice.
I'll tell you what, Ryan has made fun of you more than Alex ever has. So I would
That's
say
probably
that
true.
Ryan likes you more than Alex does.
Yeah, actually, that tracks.
Aw, thank you.
Ryan and Madison ask, is there a extra appendage that's finding a way to the cell phone screen, or why is it you're always pocket dialing people?
Hey now.
Quite the compliment there.
I'm going to say I don't
Still,
think
that's,
so.
4 hymns he takes as an old man.
Yeah. I would like to think I would notice that.
Too old.
What?
No, it's just his cane. It's nothing in his pocket.
You guys.
Is that your cane, or are you just happy to see me at Hamilton?
Hey now.
All right, fine. 844-770-3776. How often do you pocket dial people? And we'll just go basically more or less than once a month.
I did already put it out in the
Okay.
field. I said our secondary poll question of the day: how often do you pocket dial people? Once a week, once a month, or rarely, if ever? So far, 5 votes now, and all of them are rarely, if ever.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and vote. Gosh, there was a time there, especially with my old phone. So this new one I've got, I feel like it's better because it's got some setting where when it's flat, it'll just turn off without having to push the button, or vertical or whatever.
I love how Matt talks about the iPhone that like 80% of Americans have is like this
I
newfangled.
just got one that's nicer. Okay, like I had one that wasn't as nice.
With his camera too. And it's like, Matt, we all have the same nice camera and an iPhone.
Yeah, mine's nicer than yours.
He had the iPhone Model T for so long. He finally got the new one.
Exactly.
There's no longer cavemen sketching photos that
Yeah,
Matt
I had like the jalopy of iPhones, and now I've got it upgraded to a nice Simden Chevy.
He had the one that Steve Jobs first brought out on the stage when he premiered iPhones.
Yeah.
Let's give a round of applause here for Matt. Really horrendous try to segue into our good friends at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb. You know what, though? Because my truck is not only just badass and can pull a camper and off-road and do all those cool things, it's also technologically advanced, where I have Apple CarPlay. So another way to avoid pocket dialing people is to be able to run with Apple CarPlay in your vehicle. That is in my truck from Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb, my Chevy Silverado, the big blue truck. I have the Apple CarPlay, so if I want to skip ahead in the podcast, if I want to make a phone call, if I need my directions, it's all available, all hands-free. With everything that goes on at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb in that Silverado. So if you're in the market for a new or new-to-you Silverado or Colorado, and I hear those Colorados are flying off the lot there at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb, go see my friends at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb. You're only minutes away from a better buying experience. You're only minutes away now from throwing stones. Next.
You're listening to Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light. Miss any of the show? Find full show podcasts free on Wisconsin On Demand and wherever you get your podcasts.
Olson Toon has been customizing both residential and commercial outdoor living spaces since 1997. Matt Hamilton here from ESPN Madison. For over 50 years of combined experience in their management and design teams, Olson Toon has become one of Wisconsin's premier building and landscaping outdoor living firms. Landscaping and maintenance, irrigation, concrete work, pools, and more. If you have an outdoor living need, Olson Toon is here to help. Go to olsontoon.com to get started on your home project today. That's olsontoon.com.
Legacy Exteriors. Just pick up the phone and let us leave a legacy on your home. Roofing, windows, gutters, siding, and decks. Can Legacy do it? You bet. Better prices, better warranties. Legacy always makes it easy. Go to legacy-exteriors.com. Legacy Exteriors. Just pick up the phone and let us leave a legacy on your home.
The GRB Rays have established themselves as one of the top baseball programs in the Midwest and the country. Looking for a team to play for in the spring and summer of 2024? Rays tryouts begin in July and August, and sign-ups are open now. Since 2010, the Rays have developed over 370 college players, including over 140 players committed to Division I baseball and 17 MLB draft picks. Rays Baseball. Raise your game.
Drowning in IRS debt? If you can't afford to pay your IRS debt due to economic hardship, you can now be free of IRS collection efforts by taking advantage of a special IRS tax hardship program. This program allows Americans who owe the IRS to resolve their delinquent tax debt once and for all. In some cases, maybe even reducing what you owe significantly. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Simply dial 800-375-2830. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back or have years of unfiled tax returns, help is standing by. Just call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-375-2830 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. That's 800-375-2830 to see if you qualify. That's 800-375-2830.
Tickets are on sale now for the Clean Lakes Alliance Loop the Lake Bike Ride. Join the fun on Saturday, June 17th from 8 to 2, starting and ending at Old Brick Park. All entries receive a free meal from a local food cart, a beverage, and a super soft shirt, compliments of Land's End. Kids 10 and under ride free with a paid adult. Visit cleanlakesalliance.org to register today. Use code LAKE23 and save 10% on your registration. Join the fun and loop the lake June 17th.
For official rules and more information about every contest on 100.5 ESPN, visit ESPNWisconsinContests.com. That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN app.
You're listening to Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Ridgetop Exteriors.
I'm not having any fun.
Jim in Oregon chimes in. My kid did not butt dial anyone. He sat on the phone and bent it. Thanks, son.
I remember when those new these iPhone Pluses came out originally, because obviously it was just like the small iPhone. When the big one, the Pluses came out originally, yeah, they would bend in your jean pockets.
Right. And so that's a follow-up on that. We're not going to pull it, but 844-770-3776. That was a novelty I was over very quickly, especially once they were able to stretch the screen all the way to the edges. I don't like the big phone.
Yeah, neither do I.
I do. Give me a big old brick of a cell phone. And I do have reasons for
keyword there.
I do like watch, like, I don't want to carry around an iPad as well. So like I watch movies when I'm on the road, or like stuff on the plane or in the car. Having a larger screen, it makes a difference, right? Like your phone and my phone, if I'm going to watch a movie from like 2 feet away, it makes a difference having a slightly larger phone. And that's literally the only reason I prefer the larger cell phone.
Yeah, I guess maybe. I mean, again, I don't watch a lot on my phone.
Right.
So that's a different part of it. I don't mind. iPads are pretty thin and pretty light. Throw them in my backpack.
It was more of the taking it out at security. I just didn't want to. So I didn't even bring a laptop or an iPad. It's like, I've got a giant phone. It's huge. Now, if I bring an iPad, I'm team redundancy team.
Okay. But I was just asking 844-770-3776. You got the phone that's right for you. I'm just curious. I think on a whole, I don't think they are quite as the seller that they were maybe initially, those big phones.
No, I think people just, I mean, I understand the want to have the bigger phone to watch TikTok or movies. But
Or if you're a heavy traveler like Matt is. That
yeah,
makes
if
sense,
you're a heavy traveler. But outside of that, like the camera's really nice. But if you're not a heavy viewer of like content on your phone and you're not taking content of your own, just feels like it's a big thing to lug around, and I feel the same way. I prefer to have a medium-sized phone.
Yeah, I mean, they stretch the screen. And, yeah, the camera, but most of the time you can still pay for an upgrade on the camera, and they're pretty dang close as far as the other phones.
Sure.
So,
Right.
A lot of it's mainly
what's
now
upsetting
screen
about
size.
cell phones is how good these cameras are. Like, I remember one of my first anniversary presents for my wife, and this is like, this is pre... like marriage, just like we're gonna start dating anniversary, so like not real. So this is like 12 years ago, 11 years ago. I bought her a nice digital camera, or it was a digital camera, but it was very nice Canon. Totally waste of money because now literally she had a friend ask her to take engagement photos, and she took her cell phone. She took her camera too, but her cell phone's pictures were like way better when she went through and did editing on the computer. All the cell phone photos were like infinitely better than this like $500 camera I bought in 2012.
Right now, 84% of people say they rarely, if ever, pocket dial anyone.
84% of y'all are liars.
Let's get throwing stones.
Pocket dialing is an American pastime.
And you know about those.
Oh, yeah.
This is the Minute to
Old
Win
as apple
presented
pie,
by
Matt
North and
Hamilton.
South Seafood
I
and
probably
Steakhouse,
should.
with 3 locations
I
in
might be
Madison,
closer to
Forest, and
weekly.
Corona.
We're playing throwing stones.
Oh, my goodness. What is this?
What did he just fire up?
Minute to win it.
Sometimes
I've never heard it because I've never been
it's-
in the studio for the first go around.
That's hilarious that you've never actually heard
Maybe
it.
I should go first next time. Maybe it'll alleviate some of that pressure.
Yeah, I probably will, but all right.
We'll
Let me
switch it
get
up
to-
maybe next week.
I'll get to the actual throwing stones here. 1 second. There we go.
The guys think they have the answers to everything.
Very nice. Very
Yes, there is. People like me.
Burning
So it's
through his own
time
segment.
to put
Handle it
them
like
to
a
the
champ,
test.
guys.
That's some booty, Jim.
You know, that's just like your opinion, man.
This is Throwing Stones, presented by Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
Yeah, so it is time to throw some stones here, not play Minute to Win It. We already did that today, but I've been wasting a lot of time on Twitter today already, and that left me with a lot of questions that I bring to both of you. So I come looking for answers from Jim and Matt, and at the end we'll score those answers, and at the end we'll crown a winner of Throwing Stones. So, Matt, I see you are wearing that Las Vegas Knights jersey today after they won the NHL Stanley Cup champion last
There you go.
They won the Stanley Cup. Yes, that's where I'm going with this one. So, after they won the championship, the Denver Nuggets also beat the Miami Heat in the finals.
Stan the Kroenke.
The Las Vegas Knights beat the Florida Panthers. So that made Miami the 5th metro area to lose the NBA and NHL title series in the same year, joining the Warriors and Sharks in 2016, the Sixers and Flyers in 1980, the Knicks and Rangers in 72, and the Celtics and Bruins in 58. So I ask you guys, does the city of Miami just deserve this, or is this just an unlucky roll of the dice for a maybe a bit of a beleaguered fan base? Jim, I'll go and start with you.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna back off on my hatred of the fan bases down there because I saw through the Panthers and the Heat. I still hate the state of Florida. It is the worst state of the union. It could fall off, and outside of the people there, some people, I'd be fine with it. But I will say this. One, it's not like bad karma. You got to appreciate your season all the way to the end. You got to root for the Panthers all the way to the Stanley Cup, and you got to root for the Heat all the way to the NBA Finals. I'm going to say proportionally, Heat fans and Panther fans are the same as everyone else. You got your just unbearable trolls on Twitter, and then you got the majority of the rest of them who are just good-natured fans who want to appreciate their team. Because I maintain all fan bases are the same. There's no fan base that's better or worse than the other.
Unless you're Justin Jones talking about the Packers. That is right.
I'm sure there's Packers who don't like some Bears fans.
That's fair. All right, Matt.
So, you know what? I don't feel that bad for him. Yeah, it's unlucky, but like, it'd be one thing if it happened to the Bucks, say the Bucks and the Packers both miss out. We still have to endure the winter. We still have terrible months. Like, you're in Miami. There's so much stuff to do if your sports team doesn't go good. Who cares? Go to the beach. Go surfing. You never seen anyone frowning on a jet ski before. You're in Miami. Like, they get the least sympathy out of any of those teams you rattled off. Forget Miami. Sorry you guys lost. Better luck next year. Go get a Cubano and ride around on a jet ski. You'll be fine.
Yeah, not many people riding jet skis in Philadelphia, New York, or Boston during the winter months. Yeah, that's for sure. Maybe during the summer. But outside of that, I also want to ask a question about your Vegas Knights, Matt Hamilton. So This is a tweet from Alex Kirshner. He is actually a college football writer, but puts out a lot of fun tweets as well. And he said, I actually feel bad for Vegas fans. They never got to earn a championship by undergoing a years-long period where their favorite team was a complete waste of time and a genuine threat to their mental health. Because obviously the Las Vegas Knights only been around for what? Is this their 6th year as a franchise? 5th or 6th?
Yeah, it's pretty short.
And they've already won a Stanley Cup final.
This is their 2nd Stanley Cup Finals, too. They've
played
in one as well.
Years? I mean,
yeah, they lost to Ovechkin.
Their first year they were team, they were in the finals.
So I ask you guys this. Are Las Vegas fans just going to be too spoiled after winning 2 championships in the first 6 years of pro sports in their town? Matt, I'll start with you.
I'm going to start by saying no, they're not, because a lot of the idea of Vegas fans is you are flying into Vegas for the weekend and there happen to be a sporting event going on. There are a lot of fans that are there who are just there because they're in Vegas. So, like, as far as, like, Vegas fans are concerned, like, yeah, maybe you got a little spoiled. They definitely saw an issue with the NHL expansion, and they were a little harder on the Kraken when they got their first year and they expanded. So, like, yeah, the Golden Knights have taken advantage of a good opportunity, but Vegas is growing, and they're going to be one of the most hodgepodge fan bases out there because you're going to have fans that are just fans because they're in Vegas for the week. Jimmy?
Yeah, I have no ill will towards Vegas at all. I think, you know what, go ahead and get the title. I honestly just think everyone else is just jealous. Like, just because they can get it done faster than you and get it done better than you, you should just embrace it. And
all while having a better halftime show.
But also, I hear Vegas in that area is pretty great as far as a sports fandom area. I hear, actually, honestly, just like people view Vegas, it's like, oh, there's Vegas, Sin City. But Vegas now is like any other metropolis area. You get to the burbs, it's actually a nice place to raise family.
Yeah.
The weather's not too bad out there, obviously. And you can go to Vegas just like you go to Chicago or go to Milwaukee or go to any of those big cities, or you can live out in the burbs. And I think Vegas is an area that is being slept on. I think it's only going to get better. And look, good for the sports fans. Add more. Because you're getting a baseball team, too. So
yeah, they have a WNBA team now, and it probably won't be long before they get an NBA team, too. So hopefully they just don't have too high expectations, but who knows? People may have high expectations for the new series from Netflix. They just released a trailer today called Quarterback. It'll premiere July 12th. It'll follow 3 NFL quarterbacks, Patrick Mahomes, ever heard of him, Kirk Cousins, and Marcus Mariota, and it documents mic'd up content from them over the past season, including interviews, stuff off the field, videos, interviews, other things. So I ask you, Jim, are you excited for this? Is this, maybe a little too much football content year-round nowadays, or are you tuning in for this new Netflix series?
Well, I'm a big Patrick Mahomes fan, so I'm going to watch it. I saw the preview for it, and I'm very much in on it. Because Mahomes, I think it's going to be as advertised, as badass and cool to see as possible. The Kirk Cousins thing looks interesting. He leans very hard into, and his family and his wife do too, is like, he is a dork. That he owns it. He owns what a square he is. He owns his bad outfits. He owns his dorky sayings. He owns what a goofball he looks like with the chains on it. So I think he's going to come out endearing. And Mariota looks like a football lifer, like a guy who just loves ball. So I think you're going to come away with an appreciation for all 3. I'm going to make him think better at football, but I think you're going to appreciate and like them more as individuals. And I think it's going to be a really cool insight. I hope they continue to do it.
Yeah, I think this is really neat, too. I was a big fan of the Full Swing doc, and that's kind of the vibes I'm getting from this, where you get to follow along with a couple players and see how they go about their business before a football game and preseason and all sorts of things. So I think it's awesome. I love that they went ahead and got an elite guy, a good quarterback, and a guy who's just kind of like grinding through it right now.
A journeyman.
A journeyman, if you will. So, I think this is super interesting. You're going to see a lot of different ways people prepare, from not just the differences in like elite and good, but you're going to see differences in just work ethics and what clicks for certain people and what doesn't. This is going to be good for people that want to play sports, people that are interested in what players do to get themselves ready. And it's just like another way that we get to peel the curtain back and humanize players a little bit more, as opposed to just looking at them as like teams' commodities.
Yeah, it'd be
I think it's great.
It does humanize each of these guys. It looks like from the trailer, at least. And what was like the Kirk Cousins alter ego last? I know
the
Jimmy
one
said
where he's wearing the
dork.
chains.
Yeah,
and
what was the
doing that
chain?
little
Didn't he have like a nickname or something?
Do you have a nickname too? I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't even want to waste my time Googling it.
Sounds like you must be really interested about this documentary.
My phone or my laptop, I get a virus if I start searching Viking stuff right now at this point.
Yeah, it might get bent if you try to. It's so big.
I'm
right?
pretty sure my wife has like child locks on all the Vikings pages, so I don't even think I could search them if I wanted to.
I don't understand.
I'm not allowed. We're not allowed. This Viking news is not something that we come across in the Hamilton household.
Okay.
Yeah, we filter it out exclusively.
Okay.
What? It's just a thing.
Okay.
Cool. I don't know what you're just okaying, Jim.
Well, I don't know what is the joke? What's the punchline here?
There is no punchline. I don't know Kirk Cousins' nickname because I don't get Viking news. That's not a punchline. I don't get Viking news.
You do host a show
about the Packers and the Badgers
and the NFC North, the division they're in. You should be aware of those teams.
Well, you didn't know Kirk Cousins' goofy alter ego nickname either.
I didn't double down and say I don't even acknowledge news about the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah.
I didn't care you didn't know his nickname. I care that you're like, I am indignant in my complete lack of knowledge of the Minnesota Vikings.
It's got me this far.
It has, and it has gotten you another win on Throwing Stones.
Let's go! Anti-Viking wins again. Weird.
And nobody's ever been sad on a jet ski. That's when you won it, I gotta be honest.
You never see someone frowning on a jet ski.
Nope.
That is true. You never see anyone frowning wearing a Knights jersey because we're Stanley Cup champs, and you won't catch me frowning because I had just clipped Jim Rutledge 2 days in a row. Maybe I don't even remember what happened Monday. I probably won that one too.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
I'm just running away with it, baby.
Put the trophy right next to your BMW X Series double, triple handicap steering wheel hubcap, right?
Let's go. Exactly. Curling division, don't forget.
Curling division. There you go.
Jim likes to throw in there.
It's just such a long name. This is Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light. The mountains are blue, and we can prove it. Follow the show on Twitter at Jim and Matt.
Jim Rutledge here to tell you about X Golf Madison, and the most important thing that you need to know is that X Golf Madison is for everyone. Heck, I golf there. Whether you're a seasoned pro, a new golfer, or in between like me, X Golf Madison is going to be fun for you. They have a full bar, excellent service, great food, and the most advanced and accurate golf simulators in the world. You can play one of their 50 courses available, take lessons from a PGA pro, hit the driving range, or even join a league. Stop by their East Madison or Middleton location today, or visit them online at xgolfwisconsin.com.
If you're looking for a special piece of jewelry for any occasion, Condon Jewelers is always there for you. Condon Jewelers has the best selection of jewelry you'll ever find and guaranteed to have the lowest prices in the Madison area. Free shipping is always available. Visit CondonJeweler.com or call 241-3406 and ask for Jim, the owner, who's at the store every day. Shop locally. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
Matt Hamilton here for Iron Jock. Believe it or not, being an Olympic curler takes a lot of practice time on the ice, and despite always being cool, I still work up a sweat. That's why I love Iron Jock and their no-stink technology. Silver Iron technology is the how behind why it works, and that is about as technical as I can get with it. What I do know is that if I'm on the ice or just wanting to look good, I know Iron Jock has t-shirts, polos, and hoodies for me. Support this Wisconsin-based company today and get gear at ironjoc.com. That's ironjoc.com.
Are you dreaming of a new look? Let the pros at 5 Star Painting bring color to your world, to your interior, exterior, cabinets, and more. We make it easy with online scheduling, free on-site estimates, and a dedicated project manager on every job. Uneasy about hiring a contractor? We know, we've been there. 5 Star Painting is customer-focused and quality-driven, exceeding expectations every time. Call or visit 5starpainting.com today. 5 Star Painting, a neighborly company.
Ben Brust here to tell you about why your next work van should be from Mercedes-Benz Sprinter at Zimbrick European. First off, we have versatility. The Sprinter vans offer 16 body types and thousands of ways to customize that space. Number 2, we have reliability. Sprinter's most powerful diesel engines last longer and require less maintenance, spend more time on the road and less time in those bays. Number 3, we have safety. Sprinter's safety technologies include curtain airbags all around, load adaptive electronic stability program, and crosswind and attention assist. Number 4, Van Care Mobile. Our maintenance team can come to you with routine service. Who wants to go in? Let them come to you. They work with multiple trucks on one visit. Use the Mercedes Me Connect. And last but not least, get your Zimbrick Sprinter at Zimbrick European at Rimrock Road and the Beltline, or go online at ZimbrickEuropean.com because they never charge over the MSRP.
Find Dad's Day deals that won't be beat this Father's Day at Fleet Farm. This week, take 25% off select Under Armour apparel and footwear for the family. Or get a Bighorn Greystone pellet grill for just $279.99. Plus, if you find a lower price, we'll match it. We have what you need for everyday life at new, lower prices. Fleet Farm.
At Wheelchairs for Warriors, serving America's heroes is our mission. With your support, we serve veterans and first responders injured in the line of duty across the United States of America, providing them custom-fit, complex rehab mobility solutions to ensure they rejoin their lives at the highest level of independent mobility and function possible. Join the mission at wheelchairsforwarriors.org.
Hi, I'm Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock with Retirement Income Strategies. And what sets us apart is we're an independent, family-run office. We help clients like you understand the financial world and build a portfolio that's in your best interest. To learn more, go to MadisonMoneyGuy.com.
You're listening to Rutledge and Hamilton on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Carbon World Health.
I need your love. You got me burning up. I think I'll call you Mrs. Valentine.
Would you want the Milwaukee Bucks to trade for Bradley Beal? The Athletic has listed the Bucks as one of the teams that would be interested in Bradley Beal. He's Matt Hamilton. I'm Jim Rutledge. This is Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light. We're live from the Everlight Solar Studio. Get into the show, 844-770-3776.
So what? Yes, I'm definitely interested in Bradley Beal on the Bucks, but what does that mean the Bucks lose? Are we talking Middleton or Holiday's gone to get Bradley Beal, or are we talking a role player, maybe a second role player that we trade for some picks to a different team and then use the picks? Like, I think I heard in there you're saying maybe what if you got rid of Pat Connaughton and Marjon Beauchamp, got some picks for Beauchamp, and then we're able to give Connaughton and some picks for Bradley Beal and keep Middleton, Holiday, get Beal, have Giannis. Is that a possibility? Because if that's not a possibility, I don't know if trading Beal for Middleton or Beal for Holiday is that big of a trade. It's kind of like trading 1A for 1B, don't you think?
Let's throw up another poll question. I want to be specific how we word this one, Ryan. Would you swap out Bradley Beal for Chris Middleton?
For Chris Middleton.
Swap out. Because it's not going to be an apples for apples trade. 844-770-3776. If you're trying to get Bradley Beal, Matt Hamilton, the Bucks, Beauchamp, their first-round pick last year, wouldn't net them more first-round picks, but he would be
Maybe
included.
one?
No, he would be included in this trade.
You don't think he'd even get a first-round pick from him?
But what's the? I think the Wizards would rather just have Beauchamp. So you would include Beauchamp in the trade with the Wizards.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Connaughton's not getting you. He's getting you bupkis.
Okay.
And so Middleton, the way you'd have to do this, you have to move off Middleton. You'd move Middleton not to the Wizards because they don't want him. You'd have to move Middleton somewhere else. Maybe Portland. They have the 23rd overall pick, and they also have the 3rd overall pick. I don't think you can get the 3rd overall pick from Portland for it, but could you get the 23rd overall pick and maybe another future pick from Portland, and then you package those picks that you got from Portland to the Wizards? But then you also have to add dollars. Like you'd have to. There's dollars that the Bucks would still have to. So Bobby Portis might have to go in this trade. Some other Grayson Allen would definitely go in this trade. There'd be other salaries to match as well if you wanted to get it done.
I wouldn't want to lose Bobby. For sure. He's a culture guy on this team, and I think he helps the culture of this team.
Okay, but Bradley Beal scored 23 points a game last year, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, shot 51% from the field, shot 37% from 3, and has a win share of 3. Chris Middleton, 15, and Bradley Beal played in 50 games, Middleton 33. Middleton 15 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. Beal's 1 year younger. 31% from three-point for Chris Middleton, and a win share of 1.9. So you are increasing your win share, which is kind of like a war number, wins above replacement, dramatically by adding Bradley Beal. Especially the wild card here is his health, but he's about a year younger, and if he is healthy, he's a 3-time All-Star and 1-time All-NBA. Middleton's a 3-time All-Star, but no All-NBA, and so you are, in theory, upgrading, and specifically from three-point range, which Giannis, I think, you're building a team around Giannis, you'd want to make that up a little bit. The other part of it is, Matt, sometimes...
Who's most likely gone on the Bucks?
I don't think anyone's most likely gone, honestly, your guy Bobby Portis. Like, he is a valuable trade. I doubt the Bucks trade their big three. But I think, and Eric Name talked about this when he joined us last week, I believe, a guy like Grayson Allen, Bobby Portis, Pat Connaughton, who have big dollar numbers to them, they're the ones most likely to be moved. And why, Matt? Look at the Miami Heat. They had 3 guys on that team who were second-round picks or undrafted, who were not currently making a lot of money. Now they're going to be making a lot of money. But in theory, the way you're going to have to roster build in today's NBA is you have to, when you find Pat Connaughton, you ride him until you have to pay him, then you let him go.
Right.
Grayson Allen, you don't pay a guy $9 million a year to shoot the 3. You have to find a guy you pay $1 million a year to shoot the 3.
Right.
Bobby Portis, high energy, love it all, kind of got to find a guy you pay less.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it depends what sort of, if you think he really is the catalyst to your team culture, he's one of those X factors that you might not be able to quantify his numbers on stats, but you can quantify the energy in the building when Bobby's there.
I know, but there's a hard salary cap. I mean,
I'm not
luxury.
saying,
So
I'm not saying it's with it. I'm just saying sometimes there's other factors that you look at aside from stats. Like Bobby has that X factor. He brings something to the Bucks that can't be quantified.
Absolutely. I don't want to trade Bobby, but there's there's a penalty you have to start paying, and the Bucks have to look at it.
I feel like I'd sooner rather get rid of Middleton than Bobby. Not because of their play, just purely because of what he does for the team and what he does for the fans.
I would rather take a trade that sent Chris Middleton out and brought in Bradley Beal than get rid of Bobby.
Right.
Absolutely. Without a doubt. I think he brings good energy. I think he...
What is this new coach thinking? Has he been talking about players he's interested in getting on the squad? Is that not something he does? The coaches do?
You cannot talk about. He's obviously very complimentary of the players on the current team, including Brook Lopez, who is a guy they can bring back.
That's another dude that I think would be... I'd be nervous about letting him go.
So the way that Adrian Griffin likes to play defense, Brook Lopez doesn't fit.
Right.
So and Adrian's not going to be a hardo and say we have to. He's going to be a good coach. But here's the question, Matt: Lopez, Middleton, Drew. are all over 30 years old.
Right.
So no matter what, this window is shrinking a little bit.
And who's the youngest? Holiday is the youngest of those three?
Yeah, they're basically, I think they're both 31, Middleton and Drew. And so I would say that, I mean, I'm trying to think of who else in this core. And so Bobby's only 28. Pat Connaughton's 30. If I'm the Bucks, I'm trying to figure out a way to get a few more guys under 30 on my team. That's just how I'm trying to do it. I don't know about you, but that's what I think. That's what more guys like 20. I would try to get guys 26 to 30 on this team because Giannis is 28.
Right.
So find some young. This is easier said than done. But what Miami's checked into, but Toronto, when they're at their best with Adrian Griffin, they were finding second-round picks who could contribute.
Like that. What I don't know his first name.
Like,
his last name's Siakam, right?
Pascal.
Pascal Siakam. He was a second rounder, wasn't he?
I'm not positive. Chris Middleton was a second rounder.
Mm-hmm.
And so the Miami Heat, Gabe Vincent and Max Strus, and there was another player on that team, all either undrafted or second-round picks.
Interesting.
The 970 chimes in. The Bucks got out hustled by the Heat. They need the X-factor guys like Portis and Holiday. I agree, but you also need athleticism and youth. Not obviously Bobby.
Well, and it also doesn't mean you can't get X-factor guys.
Right.
Right? Like, there's certainly guys that can be brought in. Look at P.J. Tucker, perfect example. They brought him in, and he was immediately like Milwaukee's dog. He was our guy
and so that's
in that run.
And he says, I would not be against trading Middleton for someone that could bring that juice. And I agree. Like, Beal, I think, can bring that juice.
I think so, too. I mean, that's actually one of the couple Bucks games I went to this year was Bucks-Wizards, and Beal looked pretty good.
At his peak, Bradley Beal, as of 2021 and 2019-2020 season, was averaging 30 points a game.
Wasn't that also the season where he and Chris Middleton in the same game went like full dueling pianos and both scored over 50? I think, I'm pretty sure Bradley Beal had almost 70 in that game, and Middleton had 50.
If you can get the Bradley Beal of 2 years ago, 60 games out of him, but that's not uncommon now in the NBA, and 31 points a game, and 35% from three.
Well, I mean, he won't get 30 a game because Giannis is going to chip into that sharehold. But like, if we could get a guy who's good for 20 plus, like that's his floor is 20, with a guy like Giannis on the court as well. And like when Giannis isn't playing or taking a rest day or something, that's when he can take over and be the number one on the team. That is what the Bucks need. They need a guy who can be complimentary to Giannis, know his role, know that he's the backseat to Giannis when Giannis is playing and on the court. But when Giannis is off the court, you need to be able to flip it to leader mode and flip it to like, it's my ball and I got to do it. And Bradley Beal has been able to be that guy. He's been the best player on his basketball team before.
And think of the Nuggets right now. The Nuggets, look at Aaron Gordon on that team. Yep. Aaron Gordon was the best player on Orlando.
Oh, yeah.
Orlando was crap, and Aaron Gordon was asked to do things he couldn't do in Orlando because when you get the biggest paycheck and you're the most talented player, you're like, well, I got to be the guy who puts the ball on the floor. I got to try to score baskets. I got to try to be the man. Just in your head, you're like, this is what. In Denver,
he got to take a situational role.
Yeah, and they convinced him of this, but he saw like, hey, I'll be the number 3. Maybe some nights I'm the 4, maybe some nights I'm the 2 as far as most important player. But I'm going to be elite defensively, and then I'm going to handle the rest. Right now, the problem the Bucks have is Middleton's been hurt so often. Now Drew has to be the scorer and the top defender. That's too much to ask of him.
Yeah.
And now Beal's got injury issues, but Beal could get closer to 30. There are teams that can have dueling 30-point guys. I mean, the Bucks offensively should be a team pushing like 110. So there's plenty of points available.
Right.
And so Beal can be a guy who's 26, 27 points a game. And that would be something that at least changes. Maybe it's reshuffling the deck.
Would it be unbelievable?
Maybe it's reshuffling the decks on the Titanic, the lawn chairs on the Titanic, or maybe it's fixing the damn ship. We'll talk about it more on the other side. This is Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light, a finalist for Best of Madison Radio Team. Vote at channel3000.com. People really like this show. Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Alex Strofe.
Varsity on Wisconsin On Demand is home to all the latest and best Badgers content on ESPN Wisconsin. Subscribe on Apple, Spotify, Wisconsin On Demand, and wherever you get your podcasts. A reigning freshman phenom for the Wisconsin basketball team will represent his country later this week in California. Connor Essegian, who averaged over 11 points per game in his freshman campaign for the Badgers, will represent the Armenian national team during the Armenian Basketball Classic against France on June 16th at Cal State Northridge in California. Essegian will make his debut for Armenia against the 5th-ranked globally France team in back-to-back nights at the Armenian Basketball Classic in California.
Pella's window and door design options are virtually limitless. Customize your order by August 31st and you could bundle and save big at PellaWI.com.
North and South Seafood and Smokehouse is the official barbecue and seafood and smokehouse of Rutledge and Hamilton. Make sure to listen every Wednesday for your chance to win a $50 gift card to North and South Seafood and Smokehouse in Madison, Verona, and DeForest. North and South Seafood and Smokehouse.
That to-do list you have needs one more thing. Chill. It's an easy thing to do. Just crack open an ice-cold Coors Light and chill. Take the afternoon off and binge watch anything. Go to happy hour and stay for a couple hours. Who's counting anyways? Or hang out with just your dog because you've had enough human interaction this week. Whatever you do it with a Coors Light. Mountain cold refreshment made to chill. 2020 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
Matt Hamilton here to tell you signups are now open for the inaugural ESPN Madison Open. Head to ESPNMadisonOpen.com to purchase your foursome today. The ESPN Madison Open tees off July 17th at Trappers Turn. We've partnered with Coors Light and the Catch Foundation for this exclusive event, and you can experience it too. You'll enjoy food, drinks, swag, and while getting in 18 holes with Wisconsin sports stars like me. But spots are limited. Head to ESPNMadisonOpen.com. That's ESPNMadisonOpen.com to sign up now.
For official rules and more information about every contest on 100.5 ESPN, visit ESPNWisconsinContests.com. That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN app.
The GRB Rays have established themselves as one of the top baseball programs in the Midwest and the country. Looking for a team to play for in the spring and summer of 2024? Rays tryouts begin in July and August, and sign-ups are open now. Since 2010, the Rays have developed over 370 college players, including over 140 players committed to Division I baseball and 17 MLB draft picks. Rays Baseball. Raise your game.
Wild Rock Golf in the Wisconsin Dells, a must-play every golf season. Wild Rock Golf features championship golf in the heart of Wisconsin. Wild Rock, a Herdston Fry masterpiece that's cut from the natural beauty of the Wisconsin Dells and offers stunning views from elevated tee boxes. Wild Rock presents spectacular greens that roll fast and true. Wild Rock Golf in the Wisconsin Dells, a unique gem that offers a challenge to avid golfers of all abilities. Book your tee time today for this must-play at wildrockgolf.com, wildrockgolf.com.
Hey, it's Alex Stroh for my good friends over at Door County Distillery, locally produced, handcrafted, and award-winning spirits. That's why I love them. They use local ingredients whenever they can, and they're based right here in Wisconsin, up in Carlsville in Door County. If you're heading up to Door County with the sweetheart, it's a no-brainer. You got to stop in by Door County Distillery, take the winery tour, take the distillery tour, and tell them Alex Stroh from ESPN Madison sent you. Or you can get Door County Distillery's gins, whiskeys, vodkas, and all the in-betweens right here in the Madison area. Just go to the website, DoorCountyDistillery.com, to find the unique cocktail recipes and the retailer nearest you. That's DoorCountyDistillery.com, DoorCountyDistillery.com, for my great friends at Door County Distillery.
You're listening to Rutledge and Hamilton on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Ho Chunk Gaming Madison.
I should be scared, honey, maybe so. But I ain't worried about it right now. Keeping dreams alive, 1999 heroes. I ain't worried about it right now. Swimming in the floods, dancing on the clouds below. I ain't worried about it.
Last segment of Rutledge and Hamilton rolling on a Wednesday. Jimmy, you have fun today? Was this a good show for you?
I had a great time. Are you heading out to the golf course now, or what are you up to rest of the day?
No, so this is the three-man team, and this is one of the few weeks that I am in town but am not on the schedule to play. So I am off. No golf tonight.
Well, you also are a champion, and you can play with a champion like Mr. Matt Hamilton at ESPN Madison Open, right, Matt?
You certainly can. ESPN Madison Open, we're going to be playing out a Trapper's Turn on the 7th of July. 17th, of July. And you can sign up now to play with me, Mark Tauscher. We got Chris Orr, Brad Nortman, all sorts of different teammates here at ESPN Madison going to be golfing and going to have some great prizes. Going to raise some money for some charities. Coors Light's putting the whole thing on, so you know we're going to have delicious beer. Sign up. Go to espnmadison.com/ I think it's Coors Light Golf Outing.
It's ESPNMadisonOpen.com.
ESPN Madison Open, same thing. Coors Light Golf Outing. ESPNMadisonOpen.com. You can sign up to play with me and Jim and all the other fun fans and characters here on ESPN Madison Airwaves.
He gave out that URL like it was the BMW X7.
Hey, sometimes you just got to speak confidently until someone corrects you.
And sometimes you get lost in the sauce. Sometimes.
Yeah, I got lost in the sauce, and that's why I got Ryan.
.org.com.net
/EDU.
EDU.
Hotmail.com. Easy to sign up.
You really confused everyone there, Jim. You just confused everyone.
What is it, Ryan?
The ESPNMadisonOpen.com.
It's ESPNMadisonOpen.com.
ESPNMadisonOpen.com.
You said the.
Okay, well, yeah.
Semantics,
sorry.
Jimmy. ESPN Open.
No, ESPNMadisonOpen.com. Jeez. Can't trust any of you. For a second.
Oh, you are just the worst.
I let go of the reins of the show, and it's just in the ditch.
Yeah, well, that's what you get. You had the reins there in your hand, and you dropped them.
God, 1 second. So we did ask the question, our secondary Iron Jock poll question, and we asked the question right here: if the Bucks make a trade with the Washington Wizards, would you swap out Chris Middleton for Bradley Beal? And right now, only 48% of you say yes, which is insane.
I just added to that. It's 50-50 right now.
Okay.
And I still think, I understand. People like what they have, especially when there's no issues or drama. We had a good team that fell a little bit flat in the playoffs. A lot of people probably think we can run it back and be good enough. So I don't think they're necessarily wrong for not wanting to mix it up, but I think this team needs some new juice.
Do you want them to run it back?
I think this team, if they went out and tried to play it next year, I think they would be good enough to get it done. But do I think winning one more is enough? Yeah. I think Giannis is hoping to win more than one, and I think you're going to have to start with this like half rebuild, half staying competitive kind of like situation that they're in right now. They got a middle-aged basketball player in Giannis. At 28 years old, he's in the middle of his career, probably his peak. You want to get as many great players around him as you can so you can maximize that. I'm not sure this team currently has more than a 2-year window ahead of them.
This team, so under Mike Budenholzer, I would say year one, reached expectations, lost in the Eastern Conference Finals to the Toronto Raptors, hell of a run. Year two, COVID bubble, crap end of the season. They lost way too early in the bubble. Won the title the following season. Last 2 years, underperformed as far as expectations.
Right.
This last year, dramatically. With Drew Holiday as their point guard, they obviously exceeded expectations, or met, whatever you want to say. Winning the title, full on, just will give you exceeded expectations. Amazing. Last 2 years, underperformed. So the roster with Drew, Chris, and Giannis have underperformed twice and then reached the peak once, which the peak matters.
Yeah.
I just don't know if this roster, now almost 3 years older, can reach the peak again. I think you got to mix it up a little bit. I'm not saying throw the baby out with the bathwater.
But is Bradley Beal mixing it up enough from a Middleton or a Holiday?
Bradley Beal is a scorer that neither one of them are.
Okay.
Again, the health is the wild card. But he's available because of the health. But he can score at a level that neither one of those two can.
Okay.
Especially shooting the three.
Well, that's what we need. So and I'm kind of just looking at age and not necessarily knowing a ton about these guys individually. They're the same age. So, adding another 31...
Beal is a year younger.
So is adding a 30-year-old... I don't know. I don't know if it's trading 1A for 1B, or if it's actually an upgrade, is what I'm getting at.
This is Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light.
Hi, I'm Connie Britton. I support Feeding America because they help provide over 6 billion meals to people in need each year. Learn more at feedingamerica.org.